Hey guys, how's it going? My name is always, and welcome back to Skybees. In the last episode, we learned how to fly. We started planning out our factory area, our machine area, which is what we're going to work on in this episode. As you can see, I haven't really done all that much with it. We'll get to that in a second. And we were working on getting more mana by making a Kekimerus. I don't have any more Terra Steel yet, but I am collecting mana pretty rapidly. This guy is doing his job, which is nice. But yeah, so we're going to work on making our factory area and setting up some auto crafting and all that kind of stuff today. One thing to note, I set up a pattern for a crafter last time, and that was honestly kind of dumb. The easiest thing to set up a pattern for is, why is it using dark glass? I just want normal glass. Is more patterns. So set up a pattern for patterns, and then that makes me wonder. This uses exact mode. Okay. I think that will be fine. Okay, it's no longer using exact mode. There is a mode where you can use exact, so it will use exactly that type. So for example, in general, you can make things like, let's see, a pattern using any type of glass. But if you wanted to use specifically, let's say, vanilla glass, just clear glass, then you can tell it to do that. But by telling the crafter that we want to make patterns, I can go in here, I can tell it to look up patterns, and I can make 10 of those if I had the resources for it, which I don't currently, which is kind of strange. We have more stuff in here, and that is not the right thing. And let's see, let's get some redstone, I guess. Throw that in there. Make it go fast. It will just get a bunch of redstone. So now I should be able to tell the system to make me a bunch of patterns. Let's go ahead and make like 20 of them, and it will just start crafting them up and auto crafting. It's amazing. Now today, what we're going to start off with, I'm going to have to do a lot of work to get everything I want done, because first of all, we're going to teach the system how to make a couple things. We're going to teach it how to make the logistical pipes and how to make the upgraded version, because those are going to be super useful. And we're going to kind of leave it at there for now. So what we need to do, one, I've done a little work. We're going to work down below. We're going to bring things in underneath the base, and we're going to actually have an area down here that's going to look pretty cool. This is the size of what we're going to have, and I just need to get more pipes, because we need a lot of pipes to bring everything over, and everything is going to come into one chest, and then we're going to sort it from there, and we'll deal with that here in a little bit. But I need more pipes, and in order to do that, we're going to need to get a lot of, so the logistical stuff requires both the, let's see, it requires basic control circuits, which requires osmium and redstone, and more infused alloys, which requires iron and redstone, in a metallurgic diffuser. Now, you might notice these blocks that I'm using. This is what we're going to actually build the building out of. These are Skystone Bricks. Skystone Bricks are really easy to make. They are made from Skystone blocks, which is smelted up Skystone, and to get that, we can put enrichment chamber, Skystone dust, which we have a ton of. We have 500 there, and we have a lot more in here. But the problem is, these machines are really slow. So there's two things we can do to fix that, and that's the first thing we're going to do today. And then we are going to, I'm going to get some work done, and hopefully come back and we'll do more stuff. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get a couple of speed upgrades. Now, speed upgrades increase the speed of machinery. Let's actually teach the system how to make those, because that's super duper useful. I don't know why it keeps wanting to use dark glass. By the way, if you ever make a pattern and need to change things about it, just shift right click it. That's all you have to do. So we're going to make speed upgrades. And in order to do that, we're going to need some of this, a bunch of this. And we should be able to make a few speed upgrades if we get some osmium dust, which we can get by crushing up. Had to find the crusher. Some osmium, nothing too major. And I do have some skystone blocks and some skystone. The blocks you just craft and you can make these skystone bricks. And we'll make a nice building out of those. It'll be cool. But the osmium dust should go in here. We should be able to make a couple of speed upgrades. And apparently, oh, we can only make one currently. So we'll make one, and then we will install it in here. And it takes a second, but we can put up to 8. Now this does make the machine faster, but also does require more energy. So it's a little bit of a give and take. We're going to upgrade this guy a lot. And there are also energy upgrades. So let's teach the system how to make those. And that is the same thing except with gold dust. So let's go ahead and get that. Prefer to use that glass. I don't even know why it's using dark glass. Do we even... There's not even dark glass in here. That is weird. Anyways, so we have those. The other thing we can do, which is kind of cool, is, let's see, we're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. We're going to make some basic tier installers. Now, those require control circuits, which is, well, these. And what we can do with this is if we make one of these basic tier installers and we put it onto, let's say, the metallurgic infuser by shift clicking, it changes it to a basic infusing factory, which lets us do 3 times as much. So what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade a bunch of these machines. The enrichment chamber, the smelter, and the infusing factory, at least to tier 2. It does keep its upgrades. And so this is going to just be a lot better. And we can actually go ahead and make another one of these to upgrade the enrichment chamber so that it can do more. And we can tell it to auto sort. So if we take any out, it'll just automatically put them all in the same place, you know, so that we can do multiple crafts at the same time. And this infusing factory is going to be only for redstone. We'll probably end up making a couple more infusing factories for each of the different, like, materials, the infusing materials that you use. I don't even know what to call those. Now, there are upgrades to these factories. You can take it up to, I believe the machines can go up to elite tier. They might be able to go to ultimate tier. I'm not entirely sure. It used to be that ultimate tier was specifically just for the energy cubes, but these are another machine we can upgrade using those installers. It's pretty nice, pretty easy to deal with, but yeah, that's going to get us a bunch of things, and I think we can make one more of those. And it's going to allow me to mass produce things a little bit quicker. So let's make one more basic tier installer to put in the smelter so that this is faster and I can start getting to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything, I'm going to get some stuff built, which brings me to the other thing actually before we go. Before I go work on stuff, there is one other thing we need to do, and that is flooring. So we're going to use Skystone Bricks, which I've shown how to make those, for the walls. Down below, I think we are going to have some windows, just because I think that would be kind of cool to see. But for the floors, we're going to use concrete tiles. Now, that requires us to make concrete, and concrete requires slag, gravel, clay, and a water bucket. Not the nicest crafting recipe to make, but it does give us 12 each time, and there is a villager. If we could have the immersive engineering villager guy, would work, but we can get gravel pretty easily. Let's go ahead and get 2 stacks of that. Actually, I don't even think we'll need that much. Just get a stack. The question is, how much clay do we have? We have a little bit. And then slag. This is something we can use all of this slag that we've been gathering from making steel with the blast furnace. Otherwise, we can make this stuff with sand, but it does give you a little bit less. So, leave slag in the corners, gravel, and clay. We can make 11 crafts of it, and we can go ahead and see what this looks like. So the concrete, let's actually place a little bit of the concrete down. So it's a pretty standard looking block, nothing too special, but it's factory-esque, which is what I want. We can turn it into these tiles, which look a little bit nicer. So that's what we're going to go with. It should be okay. Of all the blocks that we have access to, it looks like it's one of the better ones. But it does go nice with the, at least I think it does. I hope it does. The stone bricks, or the Skystone Bricks rather. Let's see. Yeah, that's actually kind of nice. That looks factory-esque, and that's what I'm going for. So, I have some building to do and figuring out all that kind of stuff. And what we're going to do is, I also need to figure out what I'm going to do for a roof. And I think, what do I like the best? So we can get rid of that stuff. We're going to use sheet metal for roofs, both up here and down below. And we're probably just going to do slabs. But the question is, what's going to look the best? And we could use dyed sheet metal. We could use silver or aluminum. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Electrum and Constan, they're a little too... Let's see what aluminum looks like. I think we have a little bit of aluminum. We have 10. What does 10 look like? Can you even make 10 sheet metal? Doesn't look like it. No. Okay. So aluminum or silver. Let's see. Do I have any of that stuff lying around? Aluminum, silver, nope. Let's get a little bit of honeycombs, maybe? Oh, there was aluminum. And what does silver look like? It is also that light grayish color. There we go. Alright, so let's get a little bit of silver and aluminum. And what we can do is just throw them onto the conveyor belt. They'll be made into plates. And to make sheet metal, you just... Is it just 4? No, it has to be diagonal, which is awful. So we'll have to use a crafting table. That was a very weird noise. Oh, it has no power. Whoops. Okay, well we only need one more. Just to see. And let's see what both of these look like. So silver is a little bit more like bluish green. But how does that look? That's not bad. I think I'm going to go with the aluminum. The silver's not too bad, but I think I like the aluminum a little bit better. So that's going to be what the roof looks like. Let's make sure that things are lit up for now. Okay, so I have some building to do. I'm going to throw the aluminum in there. And yeah, I will be back once we have a little bit of stuff done and can start, well, doing all the fun stuff of moving machines and getting things set up. So I'll be back in a bit. So sometime later, and I think I'm ready to do some more work on that. So I've been busy. We have a good bit of these stone bricks placed. The downstairs is almost completed. There's a couple things that I'm not too sure what I want to do with yet, but I think it's about time we start moving things in and start getting things set up a little fancily. So yeah, building with the stone bricks, I've started farming trees because I think what I want to do is I want to have some drawer systems to store all the items that we're getting from bees, because we're going to get a lot of stuff and I don't want to clog up this system. And there's a fancy way to do that, but we'll probably not get to that today. That'll probably be next episode. But down here, you can see this is what it looks like so far, and I kind of want to leave some windows. We'll see, but I have everything piped in. I have like 3 of the honeycombs coming in here, 3 sets of them or whatever. And yeah, we have a lot of stuff to process, and then eventually I'm gonna have to go around, and actually I might not need to, but I know there is a couple of honeycombs, like that one is actually full, so we're not collecting any honey. There might be some other ones like that where the shears have broken. Yeah, that one. Not that big of a deal, to be perfectly honest, because we're not processing the combs yet. But the apiaries might be a little bit different. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to worry about it or not. We might just work towards getting a bunch of apiaries and then go from there. But first things first, we need to make some stuff. And I need ender pearls. But to get ender pearls, we're going to need to process these ender combs, and that requires us to have glass bottles so that we can get more stuff. So let's actually just go ahead and teach the system how to make glass bottles. And that's going to be super important for later. So let's get just a few. I know I just told the system how to make these, but I'm just going to make them myself. We're going to throw these in here for right now and process, I think, just a few of these combs. Now, we're not always going to get Dragon's Breath. It's like, what is the chance? 25% chance. So it's not too bad, but we're going to get it often enough that we need to kind of deal with it. So, all right, let's see. Where do we want to start? There's a lot of work to do. And I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to deal with power. So here's the thing. We're going to have to upgrade our power. And this advanced solar generator from Mechanism is not bad. It produces 77 FE per tick. However, the solar panels from Power does, I will always say that weird. I just really need to call it just Power. Let's see what, these are much better. Once you get to Blazing tier, it makes 90 FE per tick, but at the max tier, they make 1.2 thousand FE per tick. So what we're probably going to end up doing is we'll use this for now, but in a future episode here soon, we're going to probably cover this with solar panels. Now, in order to get power to places we need, I had considered using these wires. But let's just go all fancy, and I don't know if this is actually a quest or not. It is. So we're going to do some quests. We need to get some flux dust. And to do that, we need to put a piece of obsidian right here, above the bedrock. And then we're going to throw in some redstone. let's break this. This is gonna take a moment, and we're gonna go to the other side, and we're gonna put it here so that I can break that and get here and throw a piece of redstone. We right click this probably with an empty hand. No? Do we place down the redstone? Maybe. I'm pretty sure we just... Oh. Oh, wow. That is annoying. Okay. So that's how you get flux dust. It's a left click, not a right click. I need to make sure I read that. But, oh, and so that's how you get the flux dust. And why are we doing this? Well, Flux Networks is the name of the mod, and what it allows you to do is to transfer power around wirelessly, at least to an extent. Now let's see if we put this here again. What happens if we put a full stack? I can get infinite redstone, so it's not that big of a deal, but... Alright, it processes at least all that you have there, so it's not too terrible. Let's just get the obsidian back, and then we will... that should be enough to get us by for today. So, in order to start with this mod, quest book, there we go. We're going to need to get some Flux Cores, and these are somewhat expensive because they require Eyes of Enders. We're going to get 2 of them for right now, if I can click properly. And let's get a bunch of those. And then we can make a flux block. That is the next step. And then from there, we need to make the flux controller. So all of that, oh, we need a lot more flux blocks. Okay. So we're going to need 5 of these? Question mark? Yes. So we're going to need more ender pearls and 2 more. We can get 3 more flux blocks. So we have 4. We just need to process a few more combs. And... didn't mean to click the dragon's breath, but whatever. Anyways, we are going to grab a bunch of the ender pearls and hopefully be able to get another set of the flux cores. We're probably going to need 2 sets of these anyways. Yeah. So we just need 1 more flux block, and then we can make the controller. The controller is obviously pretty important, and we can put it wherever we want, but made the controller. There is also some storage that stores energy for the network, up to 128 million, and this holds 6 million, and it's not even fully upgraded. So we're not even going to worry about that. We'll make those later when we need to complete quests and all that kind of stuff, but... not going to worry about it right now. Now, we do need one other thing, and this network thing we can just go ahead and place. I do believe we can place it anywhere. So we can just create a network. Create new network. We're going to call it main for main power. Not mail. It'll be a public because I'm the only one on here. Perfect. So... with the main power, what we can do is we can take power from here, from this guy, and we can then, well, send it wherever we want, including, and what we're going to do is put a power node down here. They are called flux points. No. Receives energy from adjacent, okay, flux point. I can never remember, so there is a flux point and a flux plug, and I can never remember which one's which. But we're going to need 1 of each, and that will allow us to have power down here. And then we can just use our normal wires, which These energy cables are also not bad, but the mechanism ones are better, so we're probably going to use those. They're also pretty cheap to make, just steel and redstone. So we'll get to that in a second, but we need to get the flux point and the flux plug before we can do anything. So the point requires the flux cores, so we're going to need one more set of these, and hopefully we have enough stuff. So we need a flux point, which requires, we don't have enough redstone because I used it all. It requires a block of redstone and 4 flux cores. So that gives us the point. And the point is for receiving power. And so we'll put that down here somewhere. For now, let's just throw it in this chest so we have a little bit of inventory space. Same with this stuff for now. We'll see how much we get done today. There is a lot of work to do to set this thing up and then start moving everything over, and just so much work. So we have that, and then we're also going to need a flux plug, which requires a flux block and 2 more recipes of this. So let's just get that taken care of. We are out of obsidian. We should have some more obsidian in here, I do believe. And I changed this, by the way. It was based on quantity. I have it now sorting through ID type. It's a little bit easier to find things. Things don't shift around, which is what I always dislike. But we're going to need the block, and we're out of dust. So let's get another stack of redstone. Unfortunately, this is the only way to really get the flux dust. We'll just grab another stack. I'm aware that I have 2 redstone in my inventory, but we're not going to use that. Actually, let's get like a few stacks. And that should be good. Let's do like 3 stacks. So 1, 2, 3. That. Alright, so Control Q drops stacks. And I wish. There we go. So we should have 3 stacks of these. We do. Awesome. One more time picking up the obsidian. So what this is going to allow us to do is move power around wherever we need to, which means we can have a centralized power station, which is nice. So we need a, we have the flux block. We need 1 more set of cores. Let's go ahead and make 2 sets because why not? And there is the plug. So if we plug the plug in, and we'll just put it on the bottom here, we can select a network, put it on main, and now the main power will have, well, power. And we can start working on other things. So let's go ahead and clean up the inventory. So that is all we're going to do with Flux Networks for now. But we'll get back to that eventually, probably. We'll need to do some more stuff with quests, but we don't get any rewards. There's also a configurator, which I'm not entirely sure what that one does. Never used it before. So, yeah. With all that done, we need to make something else. So we're going to need to make another centrifuge, and I might do this off camera. Not that bad. Can we make it? What are we missing? We're missing a piston, which we can definitely make. And then we're missing stone and some iron. Do I have any more iron in here? I do. Do we have any stone in here? We do. We just smelt that up. And we get the smooth stone. And we can make the centrifuge. So we're just going to make a normal powered centrifuge for only receiving the ender combs. That is the only thing it's going to get. And here's the thing. If we look at the ender combs, they only produce ender pearls, beeswax, and dragon's breath. No honey. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to have the big guy, the big elite centrifuge on this side, I think, is where I'm leaning. And most of the combs are going to go in there, and then output's going to be put into a storage system, which I think is going to go along the I don't know where it's going to go, because top would be here. This is going to be roof blocks. It's going to be the aluminum. And I'll need to figure out where the stuff is going to go. But then it's going to have to drain the honey out and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of stuff. But the centrifuge is only going to have 3 items outputting, and 2 of them can go the same place, and 1 of them is going to go into here. So not too bad. But here's the thing. We're going to need to have glass bottles being put into that. So we're going to make something that's going to make that easier. First things first, we need to make 2 raw improved, and I need 2 iron to make 2 basic processors. I have the silicon, and we can just get this going. And I put a hopper on the back of this so that we can make silicon a little bit easier. Eventually we'll have these guys automated as well. It'll be something we'll have to do later, but that was not what I was supposed to do. Alright, well, I messed up. So we need 2 more iron, 2 more redstone. It is the gold ones that we need the redstone with, and 2 more of these. So I'm going to need to make a little bit more silicon, which I already did. And those go with the glowstone. So what we're going to do is make a couple of fancy refined storage things, and this should be everything we need to make those. So first things first, we need to make an exporter. Now an exporter is a really simple thing that basically just exports things out of the system into an inventory. And so what we're going to do is, and I'll demonstrate this, I'll set this up off camera because it's just going to be me wiring things up and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to have the exporter like so, and the exporter is going to be exporting glass bottles. Now here is the cool thing. If we make one more thing, which we're going to need to make a crafting upgrade, so we need a little bit of glass. Why do I not have any glass? I have a ton of glass honeycombs somewhere. And of course they all look the same. There's glass. Looks completely different than all the others. So we're going to just put a bunch of glass honeycombs in here. And we're going to grab a bunch of glass because we can. And we're going to throw that in there. So now if we make the upgrade, which is using the improved processor, and then turn that into a crafting upgrade with 2 crafting tables, what this will do is if we put this in here, the exporter will then tell the system, and we can actually show this, so hopefully this will work. Let's see. So we have a bunch of glass in there. We have a bunch of glass bottles. If we have enough cables, and we do, it's going to start putting glass bottles in there. But we don't have that many glass bottles. In fact, it's going to run out in just a second. Well, then what it's going to do is it's going to start crafting the glass bottles. And we're gonna go ahead and break that so it stops. But it's going to craft the glass bottles on demand. So once this fills up, it's not going to have any more, it's not going to craft any more glass bottles. It's just going to craft them when it's needed. And so that will keep this full of glass bottles so that the production of the ender pearls will never end from the ender combs. So that is the simple solution to the Honeycombs, which is the only thing I believe that requires glass bottles. Everything else is going to produce honey, which is just going to go into our quantum tank. And what I'm going to probably end up doing, and this is something where I've debated how I want to do this, and I think I just got an idea of how I want to do this. We need to be able to get out there so that we can do things. And I think how we're going to do that is how we're going to get down there to begin with, which is an elevator. So the next thing that we're going to make, also, by the way, I've decided lanterns are what we're going to use for lighting. It's just some iron plates, glass panes. And do we have any glass panes? We should. Yeah, we do. So let's get a couple iron plates, and we'll make one so that I can show off what they look like. They look pretty good. They're immersive engineering. They're going to look factory-esque. And they're probably the best thing that we have available to us for making, like, fanciness. So let's just throw those in there. And the lantern. So we'll make one. And you can hang them on the side of buildings, and they have nice shapes. Or you can hang them off the bottom of walls. We'll just do it here for example. And they look pretty nice. They don't look as nice necessarily as like those lanterns with the chains. But yeah, they're industrial looking. So that's what we're going to go with. Now, let's go ahead and make those elevators. Now that we've fully gotten distracted. And we're going to need quite a bit of string because we need some wool. And let's just do it this way. You know, there was another way. So if we look at the elevator, the wool, we can get it from Precision Sawmill. Oh, never mind. Didn't they have a shepherd that gave us a bunch of wool? Maybe. I really need to clean up the base. This is so important that we get more stuff kind of taken care of with all of this mess. Okay, let's just use string, and we need a lot of string. So that will make 3 elevators. So what is an elevator? Well, elevators are really cool. We can put one right here, and we can put another one right here. And if I jump or shift on them, we get teleported to the next one. Now the question is, can we go through blocks? I can never remember, so we're going to see. Yes, we can. Cool. So the idea is then to get outside of this room, and we're just going to use, it should be there, I think. Let's see. Let's line up centered. Should be like here-ish. And then we'll make a little bit of a platform. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to go 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It should be here. No, it should be here, right? Put that there. Put a torch on it. And then right, there is options. So you can camouflage it, which we might do. Alright, where is it? Okay, it is one over. And so that we don't lose this block, because that wool was expensive. No tool. It goes right here. And we can teleport up. So what I am going to do is I'll make this a little bit nicer. It's just going to be a platform. I might hang it, and it's probably going to go a little bit lower. This is just kind of proof of concept that it will work. But we'll make a little bit of a platform. I might use some like chains, make it look nice. And this is how we're going to get out of the area so that we can do wiring and stuff underneath. We're going to wire the honey underneath the centrifuge and stuff like that. And then I might dye these. So I believe you can do a lot of different things. I don't know how. I mean, we could theoretically just do that, and then we have to know it's there. Or else, we can stone cut it into a different color. So yeah, I might do something else just to make it look a little bit nicer. We'll see, but in general, that is going to be how the factory is. This is going to be the door. We'll have niceties outside so you can walk. I'll get rid of all these drawers and the chests and all that kind of stuff, and then I just need to kind of get everything set up down here. So that's what I'm going to work on between episodes. Is there anything else I want to do on camera before we get to that point? I guess we should make some of the basic pipes. So basic mechanical pipes. This is from Mechanism. This will allow us to move liquids. We're going to go with this rather than the fluid cables, just because we're going to use just kind of all Mechanism. And the basic universal cables are also pretty easy to make. We can upgrade these later. For now, I'm just going to use the basics. And if we grab our flux point and a machine, what we can do is we can have the flux point wherever we need it. Let's put it in the center right now. We hook it up to the main, and then we can just universal cable it down to the centrifuge, for example, and the centrifuge will get power. That's all we have to do. So I'm going to figure out kind of how everything's going to set up down here, and then I might also go ahead and make some more aluminum, get this downstairs nice, get this downstairs nice, and we'll go from there. So that's the plan. Next episode, hopefully we will be able to get into more machinery, get into some auto crafting so that we can make these guys and set things up so that we can use a drawer system and make things really nice and awesome, and everything will be good. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!